Good morning, everyone in Australia, Mongolia, and Taiwan, Japan, Indonesia, and so on. Good afternoon in North America, South America, and also good evening in Europe, Germany, Switzerland, and Italy, and so on. So today the subject of the teaching is Mahamudra, Giluk Mahamudra. And so first we will chant the mantra of Lamaji Tsongkhapa. Me me te te chin chin re se te me chen be wang bo jam yang de bon ma le jom se sang wei kan jin ke be su jin song kam lo zan da be sha la so me me ze te chin chin te me chen me wang bo jan be de bo ma le jam te sang wei kan jin ke tu jin song ka lo zan da ve shav la so me ze e chin chin re me chen be wang bo jan be de bon ma e jom se sang wei kan jin de be tu de zong kam ba lo zan da be sha la so the preliminary practice of Mahamudra. There are four main preliminary practice: refuge and bodhicitta 1, mandala offering 2, um, Vajrasattva meditation 3, and Guru Yoga 4. You can also count refuge and bodhisattva vow separately. If you do that, then there are 5. And you can also add on another one, prostration, as a foundation practice or preliminary practice for Mahamudra. In that case, it becomes a 6 preliminary practice. So you can have different preliminary practice. They are not always fixed. The numbers are not always fixed. So today, the subject of the talk is, first I will talk about Vajrasattva practice as a preliminary practice. Then I will give some talk on Mahamudra itself. Then we do a little bit meditation at the end. And then we'll have time for question and answer. So Vajrasattva is a deity, very special deity, unique one, for purification of our body, speech, and mind, purification of our karma. And so in order to obtain realizations, it is necessary to purify our body, speech, and mind. It's like when, in order to see through your glasses, and you have to make sure your glasses lens is clean, right? You clean with the cloth, and nice soft cloth. And otherwise, if the glass is dirty or if the glass is foggy, then you cannot see the image. Likewise, when you taking a picture, your camera, the zoom, the lens, it has to be clean as well. Like that, if our mind is impure and our body is got lots of problems, cause of suffering, cause of problems like karma, speech, and so on, then it is become problem uh, to obtain realizations, Dharma realization. And this is why we do this preliminary practice for purification. And Vajrasattva is a unique purification. And so Vajra, it means diamond. Sattva is mind, diamond mind. It means powerful mind, pure mind. Tibetan word is Dorje Simba. Dorje Simba. Dorje Simba. Dorje and Vajra, same thing. Sattva and Simba are the same thing. In Tibetan word, Simba. In Sanskrit word is Sattva. So in English, diamond-like mind, pure mind, like a diamond. Okay, Vajrasattva. So the Vajrasattva practice as a purification is originated, began from Tantra, various tantric commentaries such as Goe Samaya, Yamantaka, Hevajra, Heruka, so forth. And these tantras, there's an explanation on Vajrasattva practice and advice that one should do Vajrasattva practice. And so his Vajrasattva practice is a fast way, quick way, and advanced way to purify our body, speech, and mind, and karma. So now I will go through the text. Here is my book on Mahamudra. On the crown of my head, a white palm transformed into a lotus, and into moon. Upon there, a white hum transformed into white five-pronged Vajra. The Vajra is marked with hum at the center. From that, light rays shines forth, by which two purposes are accomplished. So, how do you do Vajrasattva practice? So, there's two ways you can do Vajrasattva. You visualize Vajrasattva in front of you, or you can visualize Vajrasattva above your crown. Traditionally, according to Tantra, we visualize Vajrasattva right above our crown, and is above your crown. There's a little bit of space between your crown and the lotus seat. Vajrasattva sitting on the lotus seat and the moon seat. So first you visualize Pam syllable, as it mentioned here. In Pam syllable, Pam is seed syllable for the Padma, lotus. And then on top of that, you visualize A syllable, A transform into moon disk. Okay, this is the seed for Vajrasattva. And then on top of that, sometimes you can visualize sun disk as well. But here did not explain sun disk. So I will explain why do we visualize lotus cushion. Most Yidam deities, they're sitting, some of them standing. They're always standing, most of them sitting or standing on lotus and moon cushion. So why is a lotus? And the lotus flower is symbol of renunciation. And moon cushion is symbol of bodhicitta. And sun cushion is symbol of shunyata. So here, first we visualize visualize lotus. Okay, so the lotus, moon, and sun, symbol of renunciation, bodhicitta, and shunyata, and symbol of what we call three principal paths. Those three are in Tibetan we call Nginjung, Changchu, Sem. yang da bi tawa janggo la ma tsong ka ba chen bo ni lam zo na sum zam na ro ngan zo lam zo de shira da lam rim gi te ka sho da ning bo sang ma di na dam de ndu yo ro. So Lama Tsongkhapa composed text, very concise, beautiful text called three principal path: renunciation, bodhicitta, and shunyata. So, and those are the essence of Lamrim, and these three topics are essence of sutra. So, in order to practice Vajrayana, one must practice renunciation and bodhicitta and shunyata. So, renunciation is, as I said, renunciation is cause for bodhicitta and shunyata, and renunciation is cause for dharma practice, and it helps to generate the awareness of dharma practice. Renunciation. So Tibetan word is ni jung, ni jung. Niban jung trim on the chetes ni jung. So renunciation, it means that you turn your mind towards to dharma practice, towards the spiritual practice, and consider spiritual practice, dharma practice, and meditation is very important for you in your life, and more important than anything else. And spiritual practice is more important than worldly life, and this is why we practice renunciation. So there's a different levels of renunciation as well, different degree of renunciation, and you can have a mild renunciation or medium renunciation. You can have a strong renunciation, and it depends on the practitioners, right? So now, why I explain there are three different kinds of renunciation, because not everybody have the urge to practice strong renunciation. Not everybody can sort of renounce your life and then become a monk or nun and then leave the life of ordinary and go away somewhere, right? Meditate in the caves or the mountains, in the forest or monastery. Not everybody can do that. Who can do that? Not everybody can. No one. Not everybody can do that. If it's never done that before in history, it is impossible. You can't say everybody should become monks and nuns. That doesn't make any sense, right? If everybody become a monk, then who's going to work? And how are you going to have society? There will be no country, and there will be no children, no family, and there's no productivity, and who's going to support all these monks and nuns? Soon there will be massive starvation, and so society will collapse. And it's sort of like this happened in the past, in history, when there's a kind of unbalance, right? So anyway, I don't want to talk about too much on this topic. So renunciation, there's a strong renunciation, There are many people are fit to be strong practitioner of renunciation. Many people are fit, they are qualified to become very good monks and nuns and yogis and yoginis. And we had so many, thousands of them through history, thousands and thousands. We still have, and they will be in the future, because the population of the world is always growing, and there will be always monks and nuns. There will be all kinds of people. Not everybody do the same thing. Not everybody wants to do the same thing, and different people have different karma and different inclination. So I don't think there will be a problem of shortage of monks and nuns. And when economy, world situation is bad, people do want to become a monk and nun, because they get a feeling of renunciation, right? Samsara does not make you feel secure, right? When economy is bad, everything is falling apart, people become would like to become a monk. No. Also, at the same time, when world situation is good, economy is good, everything is good, and there are people still want to become, people would like to become monks in them because everything is good, so good, but you're not satisfied, you're not happy. We have saying money makes your life comfortable, but money doesn't make you happy. You know yourself. I know myself. We all know. Money makes you happy. Maybe short time, like you giving Christmas present or birthday present. You have money you buy, throwing around and buy this, buy that. Short time, 10 minute happiness, 1 hour happiness, 1 day happiness. Soon there's not very no longer happiness. Then you're worrying about your some whatever the gift you get. As soon as you worry about losing this precious item and this sort of sentimental item, whatever. You buy a brand new car, and next thing you worry about somebody's going to scratch your car, or you have to buy insurance, so on and so on, and you tune up the car, and never ending worry, right? So is there happiness? No, that's not happiness. Money doesn't make you happy. Money makes you comfortable life. So like that, when economic things are good and people see there's no essence, and there's no true satisfaction. We have saying it's like worldly happiness is like you peeling the onion. Okay, you start peeling the onions, keep peeling, and there's nothing left inside. There's no hard core or some seed or something, right? Onion is made of the skin of onion. Okay, so there's no onion. It's like that. So worldly life, you kind of got something, and then you look around. Okay, I got this, and this is good. Now I got too many. I don't know what to do with this. And when I was a simple monk, I was happy. Now I'm not monk. I got all these stuff. I'm not happy, right? And anyway, so there's no essence. I'm talking about renunciation. So you feel like you want to renounce everything, and then you become a swami, become a monk, become bhante, become a nun. Renounce. But just getting rid of things doesn't really necessarily mean renunciation either, because you're just getting rid of everything, and then you run around kind of like a sadhu, right? Like say like Jain sadhus, like the munis, Jain sadhus in India, they have one peacock feather or umbrella and one gur, and that's it, nothing else. One gur for the water, drinking water, peacock feather or pan to, and like protect yourself from mosquitoes, or pan, don't wear shoes, don't wear clothes, nothing. These people are real renunciates. And I remember one Indian journalist asked a question to this Jain priest. He was the highest priest, And he said, "Why you're nude? Why don't you wear something? Why? And you don't even wear shoes." So then he said, "Well, I should ask the question to you, and why are you wearing so much?" And that's a good question, right? And then he said, human being is the only one wearing things all the time. You look at the birds. Do they wear? No, they have feathers. Do the animals, dogs and cats, horses, cows, and crocodiles, reptiles, amphibians, and nobody wears anything. Only human beings wearing something. This is human beings that's what they've done in history. And he said, our ancestors, way, way back, thousands of years, they don't wear anything. You don't have to wear. So the point here, why he's not wearing, is renunciation. So it was interesting, right? Human beings, the only one wearing something, and different robes and different dresses, different colors, and so on. So it become a style or tradition or fashion, whatever, right? Or just to keep warm, because since we've been wearing so much since we are little babies, now we can't live without wearing something, right? and too cold. And how can you walk around nude in Canada in wintertime? And you can do that in India, South India. And anyway, so renunciation is the real renunciation is the mind itself is turned towards the Dharma. Uh, you know, you take the Dharma as a principle, priority, most important, main priority in your life, and the most important thing in your life is the Dharma practice. This kind of attitude is renunciation. Just getting rid of material things and is not necessarily renunciation. Okay, so anyway, now the lotus. Why is the lotus flower is symbol of renunciation? Because lotus only grows in mud. Okay, mud, swamp, and place there are lots of insects, and not easy to walk there because if you walk in the Florida, like some mud places like in Florida, they've got alligators and snakes and all kinds of animal creatures. You go up to Northern Territories in Australia, there are lots of crocodiles and snakes. In the area where the lotus flower is growing, there's that big lotus leaves, and the lotus birds and so on and so forth. So renunciation, the lotus flower is a symbol of renunciation. Why? Because lotus only grows in mud and muddy water and in this kind of environment. Okay, so the renunciation comes. Realization of renunciation can be cultivated by meditating on suffering, meditating on misery, meditating on all kinds of sufferings of life. Suffering of birth, suffering of old age, suffering of death, suffering of dissatisfaction, this and that. So renunciation is one of the very preliminary practice. One of the principal practice, and the lotus flower is symbol of renunciation. So why the Buddha Vajrasattva sitting on the lotus? Because it means Vajrasattva practice is tantric practice. In order to practice tantra, you have to practice renunciation first as a preliminary. Then on top of that, you have moon disk. Why is the moon disk is important? Moon disk is symbol of bodhicitta. Symbol of bodhicitta is love. It's a bodhicitta is genuine love. So moon is example of love. See, moon is beautiful. You see, full moon is very beautiful. Most poets, the writers, haiku masters, they all talk about the moon. And when you look at the moon, especially full moon, and famous haiku masters like Isa and Basho says, one of the haiku masters says, tonight the moon is so beautiful, I can't go to bed. And I just sit here gazing at the moon, And so when you're gazing at the moon, it gives you some kind of feelings. Some people get romantic feeling, some people get nostalgic feeling, some people get spiritual feeling, some people get feeling of love, lots of love, and feeling of renunciation, kind of loneliness, and or lots of joy as well. So that's what the moon is symbol of love and joy. The sun is symbol of wisdom and shunyata. Okay, so here now you visualize moon. You visualize lotus cushion and then moon cushion. Then on top of that, you visualize A syllable, and then A transform into the Vajrasattva, light emanating from the A. And no, sorry, not A. Hum. Okay, you visualize on the moon disk, you visualize white hum syllable, and the light emanates from the hum. Light goes up to all the 10 directions to all realms of sentient beings, and then also the light goes to Buddha realms. First, light goes to the realm of sentient beings, go to the 6 realms of sentient beings. Light goes to God realm, demigod realm, and human realm, animal realm, and hungry ghost realm, and hell realms. Those are the 6 realms, right? 3 lower realms: hell realm, animal realm, and hungry ghost realm. 3 upper realms: human realm, God realm, and demigod realm. Light goes out to 6 realms. The light reaching all sentient beings, purify their karmas and defilements, and so forth. And then light return. Again, light emanate from the home syllable, goes to the Buddha realms, pure lands, and then bringing back white light, more light, white light from the pure lands, Buddha realms, and the light then dissolve into the home syllable. And then light again emanate from the home syllable. Then all of a sudden, the home transform into Vajrasattva. So here, different aspects of Vajrasattva. There's a Vajrasattva, you can visualize Vajrasattva. Yum. Yap is the father, Yum is the mother. Also, you can visualize Vajrasattva, solitary Vajrasattva. And so, Vajrasattva is a beautiful deity, white colored, 1 face, 2 arms, right hand holding Dorje, Vajra, left hand holding bell, crossed at his chest like this. With if she has a consort, she is white color. She's holding curved knife in the right hand, skull cup with the nectar in the left hand. Both deities are Yabum, are wearing beautiful silk dresses and jewel ornaments, earrings, necklaces, crown ornaments, and bracelets, so on and so on. And a beautiful deity. If there's no consort, then you can visualize just him sitting, holding Vajra and Dorje, Vajra and bell, and wearing similar ornaments and dresses. Visualize Vajrasattva above your crown. And then you visualize white Om syllable on Vajrasattva's crown, red A syllable on Vajrasattva's throat, blue Hung syllable at Vajrasattva's heart. And then visualize the 100 syllable mantra Om Vajrasattva Samaya. Manupale Vajrasattva Tino Patishpedameva Sudokaimeva Subokaimeva Anuradameva Sarvasiddhime Parayata Sarva Karma Sujamitra Puri Ha Satadaka Vajra Mami Muncha Vajra Brahma Samaya Sadva Ahumpe. Okay, visualize around Hung syllable at the heart of the Vajrasattva Yavya. So at the heart of the Vajrasattva Yavya, visualize moon disk, horizontal moon disk. In the middle of the moon disk, visualize Hung, white Hung syllable. And this case, white Hung syllable. And then surrounded by the 100 syllable mantra, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manu Palaya, right? Like this. Okay, all of the 100 syllable mantra is white color. Okay, so visualize. And then you focus your mind into the seed syllable, Hung, and you also focus your mind into the mantra of Vajrasattva. You focus your mind there, and then so you sit and contemplate yourself and visualize Vajrasattva Yavim above your crown. And visualize moon disk at their heart and Hung syllable in the middle, at the center, and 100 syllable mantra, white color mantra on the moon disk. And so here the moon disk is white, and the seed symbol is white. The mantra is also white. They're all white, right? So you can visualize the color of the slightly different kind of white and different texture. See, white color. We have different kinds of white colors, like silver color, white. Silver is white. And you have also another white type of white color, like a conch shell. So these two are different. They both are white, but different. The color of the silver bell or silver dorje, and you have conch shell, and they're all different, right? And then you have something else, and like a white, let's say porcelain, okay, porcelain, and again different color. So it suggests, according to Vajrasattva commentary, it suggests that you should visualize these three slightly different: the white moon disk, the mantra, undiscernible mantra, and seed syllable. This way, your concentration will be more sharper, more sharp, and also you it's easier kind of to visualize this way. If it's all same kind of white, then it's kind of a little bit blended into, and then it's a little bit not clear. This is why you visualize this way, slightly different. So after you visualize Vajrasattva Yavyam above your crown, then you can make a request. Bhagavan Vajrasattva, please cleanse and purify all negative karmas, obscurations, and damaged and broken commitments of myself and all living beings. So you make request of Vajrasattva, please cleanse and purify all negative karmas. So I have created negative karmas in this life, past life, so on. I have obscurations in my mind. I have mental defilements. I have ignorance, general kind of ignorance, lack of understanding, lack of clarity, and confusions, and so on and so forth. Those are different kinds of confusion, obscurations. And also, I have done damages, broken my vows, broken commitments, broken refuge vow, broken bodhisattva vow, broken tantric vow, broken guru yoga, broken samayas, due to my own ignorance and lack of perseverance, lack of patience, lack of enthusiasm, lack of energy, being lazy, or being practice procrastination, and so forth, due to too much desire, attachment for worldly life, and I have neglected myself and unable to practice the commitments. So I have neglected commitments. So I've created some certain unwholesome karma. So I would like to ask Vajrasattva to give me encouragement to purify my mistakes and my unwholesome karmas and so forth. So you make a request. Damaged and broken commitments, myself and all living beings. And then, so you concentrate like that, and then you recite mantra. Okay, recite the mantra minimum 21 times. Vajrasattva mantra is long, 100 syllables, right? I recited before earlier. So you recite that minimum 21 times, or you can recite 108 or whatever amount you can. It will be good, and the more you recite the mantra, it will be more purifying. So now there are three things going on here. You see, one is one very important thing is devotion from your heart to Vajrasattva deity, devotion to Buddhas, devotion to Buddha, devotion to Dharma, devotion to Sangha, devotion to Guru, devotion. And devotion also means trust. So in Tibetan word for devotion is called tepa. So Atisha, when he came to Tibet from India, he always said, Taba, Taba, you should have devotion, you should have faith. And faith is very important for our Dharma practice, having the faith. And also, if you don't have faith, you can generate faith. And some people are not sure what does faith mean, and a blind, like we have saying in English, blind faith, right? Most faiths are kind of a blind faith, right? Well, it doesn't have to be blind faith. You can have faith with reasons, good reasons, faith with experience, and faith with clarity, faith with understanding. Those are the better kind of faith and best kind of faith than blind faith. And so blind faith in Tibetan word, there's a Tibetan word we call mungde. Okay, teba is faith. Short word for teba is de. Mungde. Mung is blind or ignorant. Just kind of following somebody, not knowing why I'm following. I'm following like animals, right? Like a herd mentality. We say herd mentality. Herd mentality is interesting, right? For example, one buffalo or a sheep or horse get up, and then everybody get up. And then these animals start walking, and everybody start walking. And the herd, right? And so this happens, like they have a kind of, some kind of order, right? Some kind of boss. One is sort of the leader. I'm not sure how they choose themselves, or maybe they don't choose, just naturally happen, right? One of them is strong and maybe senior or kind of knows what's going on. So one horse get up, run, walk down towards the creek, to the river. Everybody follow him or her, because now it's time to go have afternoon drink. Afternoon drink, that's what they do when it's hot, right? And sheep do that, and buffalo do that. You see the wildebeest in Africa, thousands of them marching and running across the river, and there's all these crocodiles waiting, and then they are trampling on the crocodiles. A lot of the crocodiles are killed. Too many wildebeest and trampling on them. Also, the wildebeests are killed by crocodile too. They're all there in part of life cycle and food chain, right? So, a herd mentality. Human beings like that too. We're like a herd, One person decided to buy iPhone, then everybody buy iPhone. And one person buy iPhone 12, everybody wants to buy iPhone 12, iPhone 13, and whatever, iPhone 14, 15, who knows? They keep making new one all the time, basically the same thing. And then everybody buys, don't know why. And kind of like that herd mentality, right? And one person get up, ask Lama, oh, please give me a blessing pills. And another person gets up, third, fourth, fifth, 10, 15, they all get up and say, give me blessing pills. Right? And until Lama say, no, stop, enough. And they come up. And then another person get up, say, please give me blessing strings. And then another person get up, everybody line up again, get a blessing strings. And then one person gets up and says, Lama, please blow in my eyes. I got eye problems. Then everybody get up and line up again. Please blow in my eyes. I know that's what they do in Tibet. When I went there, I've been there many times. So people get up. You have so much faith in Lama, right? You just sit around, and then one person get up and ask something, and then everybody get up and line up, right? And very sweet, because they have so much faith, so much devotion. It's very sweet. And one man, old man, he came, he sat in front of me. He sat in front of me all day, nothing to say. And so I know why he's sitting there. I didn't say, go away. And one time this young monk came and said, you should go home now. Rinpoche need to rest or something. And he said, no, I want to sit here. I want to look at Rinpoche's face, and I want to get blessings from Rinpoche. as much as possible, as long as possible, I'm going to sit here. Then he said, next time when Rinpoche comes, my address will be changed. I won't be here. And I don't know when Rinpoche will come next time. And I won't be here. So I want to sit with him in front of him. I feel so blissful. I feel so good. And in India, they call darshan, You go, students sit in front of the guru, meditating. That's called darshan. And you don't have to ask one word. You don't have to ask questions. Guru may not say anything. And you get the, blessings. You get inspiration. Sometimes when you don't say anything, just sitting there, you get more blessings, more realization than talking all the time. Because when you're talking, you're distracting. And you just words. It's all words, right? Words are on our mind creating these words. And the words is words. And it's like a parrots and minor birds and those cockatoos in Australia, talking like, hello, Robert, how are you? And hello, Isaac. And somebody's coming and they talk like this, right? And I know one place in Montreal I used to go visit. And then this bird, I forgot now, minor bird, I think. And he says, hello, hi, Isaac, somebody's coming. He knows, he sees somebody's coming. And then when Isaac called, and he started coughing, and then we're talking there, talking. The bird says suddenly, why not? Why not? And he learned all these things. Talking, just talking. You want to talk, right? Kind of like that. We talk like this too. Sometimes talking so much. Anyway, so now I will go back to the main topic. Yeah, and you visualize Vajrasattva Yabhyam above your crown, and at their heart there's a moon disk, and then Hum syllable and the mantras, and visualize, right? So visualization is very powerful in terms of purification, and also reciting mantra is also powerful and for purification. The Vajrasattva mantra is this 100-syllable mantra goes back a long time ago, come from the original tantric teachings, and Vajrasattva mantra is purification. So now I will read the Vajrasattva mantra, and here Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tishta Dido Me Bhava Sutokaya Me Bhava Supokaya Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitam Shirem Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajra Mami Muncha Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet. So this is Sanskrit pronunciation. Tibetan pronunciation, we say Om Benza Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Benza Sattva Tinopa Titantrumeva Sutokaimeva Supokaimeva Anuratumeva Sarva Siddhi Mebaya Sarva Karma Sutama Sutashira Kuri Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Benza Mamimanda Benza Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Okay. So you can get the loom of Vajrasattva mantra. And I will say it right now. You can repeat, and then you get the loom. Transmission of Vajrasattva. Okay? I'll say it now, and you repeat. Om Vajrasattva.
Om Vajrasattva.
Samaya. Manupalaya.
Vajrasattva.
Tinopa. Tishta Dido. Me Bhava. Sutokayo. Me Bhava. Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajra Mami Muncha, Vajra Baba, Mahasamaya, Sato Ahung Pei. You have to say it 3 times traditionally. Okay. Again, 2 more times. Om Vajra Satwa, Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajra Satwa, Dinopa, Tita, Dido, Mebawa, Sutokayo, Mebawa, Supokayo, Mebawa, Anuragto, Mebawa, Sarvasiddhi, Meprayeta, Sarvakarma, Sutame, Chitam, Shiriyam, Guru, Om, Ha Ha, Ha Ho, Bhagavan, Savatatagata, Vajra Mami Muncha, Vajra Baba, Mahasamaya, Satva, Ahong Pei. One more time. Om Vajra Satva, Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajra Satva, Inopa, Tita, Dido, Mebawa, Sutokayo, Mebawa, Supokayo, Mebawa, Anuragto, Mebawa, Sarvasiddhi, Mepra, Yeta, Sarvakarma, Sutame, Chitam, Shiriyam, Kuruhung, Ha Ha, Ho, Bhagavan, Savatatagata, Vajra Mami Muncha, Vajra Baba, Mahasamaya, Satva, Ahung Pei. Okay, so that's done. You receive Vajra Satva mantra Lung. Okay, so Lung is transmission. You listen and then you repeat after the Lama, and then you are receiving the Lung. So you already received. Doesn't matter you are right in front of me or far away. And here we are. I'm talking on YouTube, right? So you have received the Lung, and now I will give a commentary on the mantra of Vajrasattva. So this mantra start with Om Vajrasattva, right? Most mantras begin with Om. Om lead into the mantra and is the beginning of all the mantras. Om is excellent. Om is the provider of spiritual wealth. Om is glorious. Om bringing good fortune. Om is auspicious. Om is holding the jewel. Om is symbol of all those things. When you start mantra with Om, you are starting with all these auspicious symbols. Or when you say Om Vajrasattva, each mantra starts with auspiciousness. It is opening the door, pave the road, starting with energy. When we say Om Vajrasattva, the sattva is enlightened one. Sattva is Buddha. Sattva is Bodhisattva. So sattva has different meanings. Sattva can be enlightened one. Sattva also means Buddha. Sattva also means Bodhisattva. A very unique and highly realized being. Samaya means commitment. Vajrasattva, Samaya. Samaya is commitment. Here is the translation. Om sound, A, U, Ma consists of the 3 letters symbolizing respectively the body, speech, and mind of fully awakened being. So Om is syllable, 1 syllable. It consists of 3 letters. A, U, Ma. 3 letters. 3 letters A, U, Ma are symbol of body, speech, and mind. Symbol of A, U, Ma, symbol of body, speech, and mind. So then 3 letters, and then you put them together, you make Om. So instead of saying A, U, Ma, you just say Om. Okay, like in Hindu style, and they say Om very slowly. There's Om Namo Shivaya. Om, like this, slowly. Right? So you are invoking the blessings of the body, divine body of the Buddha, Vajrasattva. You're invoking the divine blessings of the speech of Vajrasattva. You're invoking the blessings of the divine mind of Vajrasattva. When you say Om Vajrasattva, so Vajrasattva, okay, Samaya Manupalaya, protect my commitment. Samaya, commitment, as I say. Samaya, Manupalaya means protect. Long Vajrasattva, Samaya, Manupalaya, protect my commitment. Vajrasattva, Tenopa Tishta, may I be upheld by you. So you are asking Vajrasattva, requesting Vajrasattva to protect your commitments. And see, if you can't protect your commitment, if you can't keep the commitment, if you keep breaking the commitment, which we do, we all break commitment at some point. And especially if you are sort of unorganized and being procrastinating and so on and so forth, then you keep breaking and commitment, and then many times breaking. Then one point you sort of say to yourself, "Well, I broke so many times. Now I don't care anymore," and it's kind of sad, right? And so one should not let oneself to reach that point, and that's unfortunate, right? And when you break your commitment and you renew the commitment and continue the commitment, resume your practice, and you don't have to say, "Well, I ruined my commitment. Now I'm not going to do it." That's not wise thing to do. One of my guru used to say, if you forget to do commitment one day, and it doesn't mean that next day you should not do. You just keep doing it. Start it next day. Or if you feel better, you repeat twice. So do it twice. Because you missed yesterday, right? You broke the commitment. Today you do it twice to compensate. That's okay. And we're human beings. We're not always enthusiastic. We're not always energetic, and we can't just go on and on for 24 hours, And we got many obstacles, obligations in life, and we live in this world, today's world, and there's so much demand, so much. Life is expensive, you have to pay all the bills, and there's so many things to do. So you have to kind of accept that. That's how it is. That's life. At least I'm doing my best to practice. So you break the commitment, then you renew. And my teacher used to say, if you forgot to eat breakfast today, will you eat tomorrow? Yes. It doesn't make sense, right? Oh, I forgot to eat breakfast yesterday. Today I'm not going to eat anymore now. Or today I forgot breakfast. I'm not going to eat tomorrow. Well, what does that mean? Doesn't make sense. Does it make any sense? No, it doesn't make sense. And you don't have to eat breakfast twice. And but you can start again, resume, right? If you forgot to go for a walk, and yesterday you didn't have a chance to go for a walk, doesn't mean that today you shouldn't go for a walk, right? Yesterday you couldn't have your afternoon nap. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have a nap today. And you just have a nap, and just keep going, right? And so if you broke samaya, then renew the samaya. And that's why he says, protect my commitment. May I be upheld by you. So may I be upheld by you means, I feel I need support, upheld by you. Dito me baba, remain firmly with me. So you ask Vajrasattva, remain with me. Do you need that? I think I need that. I need personally. I would like to have my guru closer to me. If my yidam deities are close to me, I feel blessed. I feel good. I feel good for my practice. And Sutokayo Mebawa, may you be pleased with me. Supokayo Mebawa, may you be happy with me. So there's two words, right? One please, one the other one's happy. So first one is Sutokaya Mebawa, may you be pleased with me. The next one is Supokaya Mebawa, may you be happy with me. Now, why do we say this? Because if you feel your guru or your yidam is not, they're displeased with you, if you feel they're not happy with you, and then you don't feel good either yourself. You don't feel happy yourself. There's something that must be wrong. Something went wrong. If guru is not happy with you, if yidam read is not happy with you, so you would like them to be happy with you, and you ask, please be happy with me, be pleased with me, and then you feel good. Your practice will be more uphill. And even there's an even more stronger word here, Anurag me bhava. What does this mean? Have affection for me. Not only please with me, not only be happy with me, but have affection on me. Affection is like mother's affection to her daughter, or father's affection to his son, or their daughter, whatever, right? Affection is kind of strong feeling, right? Strong love. And Sarva Siddhi Me Prayacha, bestow on me all powerful attainments. So you're asking. So it sounds like you're asking so much here. Asking a lot, right? And Sarva Siddhi Me Prayacha, please bestow me all cities. And is that possible? Does Buddha or Vajrasattva can bestow on you all the cities? Yes, possible. And yeah, and it's like it is possible. And because you are requesting one thing, the other things you have clean mind, clear mind, you have a devotion. And if you're ready, you're ready yourself, then the Vajrasattva will make the cause and condition to receive siddhis. You can receive siddhis, right? That's why. Siddhi means realization, powerful realization. Sarva siddhi me prayasa. Sarva karma sutame. Make all karmic actions glorious. So it means all my actions, karma means action, all my activities, make it good, make it glorious. Chitam shirim kuru, please make my mind glorious. Make my mind is glorious. Make my mind is beautiful, good. Because my mind is cause of everything. And home, seed syllable, representing primordial awareness. So home syllable, when you say Om Vajrasattva Hong, Om Ah Hong, Hong is always seed syllable that represents primordial wisdom. Primordial awareness means the pure awareness, pure wisdom, unaltered and unfabricated, and sort of innate wisdom. That wisdom is always there. Hum, ha 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 ho. There's 5, 4, ha 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 ho. 5 syllables there. Symbolize 5 types of wisdom of the Buddhas. So these 4 syllables, ha 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 ho. 5 types of wisdom. Mirror-like wisdom, wisdom of equality, wisdom of discrimination, accomplishing wisdom, and all embracing wisdom. 5 wisdom. In Tibetan word we say yeshe nga, yeshe nga. Well, wisdom is yeshe. But this is not just wisdom. Usually wisdom is Tibetan word is sherab. Sherab. Well, also shirab means understanding, knowledge, knowing things. become a knower, you have shut up. And here we have Yeshe. Yeshe is more than Sherab. Sherab is wisdom. Yeshe is more innate wisdom or supreme wisdom, powerful wisdom is called Yeshe. There's a big difference between Sherab and Yeshe. Sherab is just wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and skills, and intellectual knowledge, intellectual understanding. Those are called Sherab. Yeshe is something deeper and like supreme wisdom, okay, and wisdom that is wisdom that penetrate the meaning of shunyata, and that's called yeshe in Tibetan word. Yeshe is the word yeshe used a lot in our language, and many people have a name. Their name is Yeshe. Yeshe Jimba, Yeshe Paljur, Yeshe. This is Lama Yeshe, very famous Tibetan master called Lama Yeshe. My guru, my root guru, Jabji Trijang Rinpoche, his name is Losang Yeshe, Tenzing Gyatso. Losang Yeshe, gentle mind with great wisdom. Losang Yeshe. So mirror-like wisdom. So these are the 5 wisdoms of the Buddha. First one is called Melunta Viyishi in Tibetan. Melunta Viyishi, mirror-like wisdom. Now this wisdom is a Mahamudra wisdom, mirror-like wisdom. Why we call mirror-like wisdom? This is a different kind of wisdom, right? Mirror-like wisdom is kind of more natural, spontaneous, awakening mind, Mahamudra kind of mind. So unfabricated, unorganized, and more natural. It's like mirror. When you look at the mirror, you can see, I can see my face, right? Mirror. And then looking at the computer is like a mirror. Like right now, I'm looking at the computer and TV or whatever, and I'm teaching on YouTube. I can see myself. It's like a mirror, right? So the mirror, you look at the mirror and you see yourself. And when you meditate on Mahamudra, you sit there and observing your mind, look at your mind, then you can see your mind. It's like looking at the mirror. And then you see your mind, right? And mirror is only reflecting. In the mirror, you're reflecting. So when you look at your mind, you see your mind reflecting. And the mirror does not react. Mirror only reflect. And like that, when you do Mahamudra meditation, when you get more advanced realization of Mahamudra, then it's when you meditate at your mind, looking at the mind, it's like looking at the mirror. You don't react, you only reflecting. Reaction becomes less and less. You got more reflecting, less reaction. You're looking at the lake, beautiful lake, you see reflection of this cloud, reflection of the sky, reflection of the mountain, beautiful reflection in the lake, right? Just beautiful reflection. You can take a picture, beautiful picture, turn out beautiful picture, like a National Geographic quality picture. And so you look, you get reflections, but no reactions, right? And this kind of wisdom is advanced wisdom, Mahamudra kind of wisdom. And the Buddha's wisdom is like a mirror, like wisdom. And Melunta, Yeshe. Okay, Yeshe. Next wisdom is called wisdom equality. And wisdom equality is equality of feelings. So Buddha's wisdom. Buddha has wisdom. Buddha has no different kinds of feelings. Good feeling, bad feeling, indifferent feeling, and happy feeling, sad feeling. None of this. It's always non-dual and beautiful feeling and love and There's no love or hatred or this and that. It's, equanimity, equilibrium mind. And Buddha does not blame when someone criticizes. Buddha does not get excited when somebody praise the Buddha. And equilibrium mind towards to person who is blaming at him or person who is praising to him. The same mind, equal. According the Dhammapada, there's a text, beautiful text, Shaloka, like verse by verse, Dhammapada. It was translated from Pali into Tibetan first time from Sri Lanka. Although Dhammapada was taught by the Buddha himself, according to Theravada Buddhist tradition, right? And we have a very famous Tibetan scholar called Gendun Chepel, and he from Amdo. He was from Amdo, and then Eastern Tibet. Then he studied Depung Monastery, Depung Gomang. Then he went to India. He lived in India. He lived in Sri Lanka. 12 years in Sri Lanka. He translated Dhammapada from Pali into Tibetan back somewhere in 1930s. And Gendun Chepel wrote also guidebook, travel guidebook into all the Buddhist holy places in India and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and Burma, Thailand, Indonesia, and so on and so forth. Gendun Chepel. He also wrote different texts. He was also beautiful. He was an artist. He drew beautiful Indian art, not so much Tibetan art. He lived in India and Sri Lanka. I have his art book, beautiful illustrations, and very interesting. And he painted a lot of Hindu sadhus and Indian ladies carrying pots on the head, or some, different kinds of yogis doing ascetic practice, this and that. So he translated Dhammapada into Tibetan. According to Dhammapada, says this is how it said: a wise person do not get. Let me put it this way: the wise person does not get upset when somebody blames or do not react, or somebody prays, does not get excited, do not react. Just like solid rock the solid rock is not affected by the rain or by the heat. Solid rock is not affected by rain or heat. Likewise, the wise person is not affected by blame or praise, doesn't react. So this kind of wisdom is called equilibrium, wisdom equality. Wisdom of discrimination, cognition of individual object. Wisdom of discrimination means the Buddha mind is enlightened mind. The Buddha mind is omniscient mind. He knows everything to distinguish. Then the fourth wisdom is accomplishing wisdom, understanding how to perform actions. So the mirror-like wisdom is called Melungta Yishi in Tibetan. Wisdom equality is called Nyamni Yishi. And wisdom of discrimination is called Sortok Yishi. The wisdom of accomplishment is called Chadub Yishi. And Chadub Yishi. And so it's accomplished wisdom, understanding how to perform action. So how to perform actions, how to do things, right things in the right time, right place, and so on and so forth. The last one is all embracing wisdom, understanding the ultimate nature. Chuying Yishi, that's Chuying Yishi, the last one. All embracing wisdom in Tibetan with Chuying Yishi, Dhammadhatu wisdom, understanding the two ultimate nature. Okay, so this 5 syllables, ha 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 ho, symbolize 5 wisdoms. Ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, blessed one, Sarvatathagata, all one, thus gone, Buddhas. Vajramami Muncha, do not abandon me. Vajrabhava, being of indestructible nature. So you're saying, do not abandon me. So it sounds like a little bit funny, right? It's almost like you're begging, don't abandon me, don't give up on me. Well, actually not begging. You just is being honest, like don't abandon me because I'm not very good. I broke some eyes. I'm not very good practitioner, but don't give on me. Don't abandon me because you will never abandon me because you have a bodhisattva vow, right? We can't abandon anybody. If you have bodhisattva vow, you shouldn't abandon anybody. I cannot abandon anybody. And if you're a Dharma practitioner, bodhisattva vow, you should not abandon anyone saying, oh, you don't come to my teachings, don't come to initiations. I don't want you to be my student. You're excommunicated from our communication. That's breaking bodhisattva vow. We don't do that. We shouldn't do that. And so abandoning a sentient being is breaking bodhisattva vow, breaking tantric vow as well. So this is important to remember. And sometimes people do those things. I noticed that, and out of anger or out of some kind of discrimination, whatever, what I call dharma politics. Dharma politics. People do those things, mixing dharma and politics, abandoning things, and like excommunication. Excommunication is a very sad thing, you know. So this here we are requesting the Vajrasattva, do not abandon me. Of course, Vajrasattva will never abandon me, but actually it's not you. So the meaning is different. What it actually means, I should not abandon others. And it's not so much about I'm requesting Vajrasattva, don't abandon me. How could Vajrasattva abandon me? But I could abandon somebody else because lack of my own commitment, or and being ungenerous, or lack of or unable to practice equilibrium mind. We can do those kind of sectarian or discriminations. So that's why Vajrasattva, Vajra Mami Muncha, Vajra Bhava, being of indestructible nature. Mahasamaya Sattva, one with a great commitment. Ahung Pei. So this is the last three syllables. Ahung Pei. Showed non-self existing phenomena of all phenomena. Please show me. Shunyata. Seed syllable representing primordial awareness. Om Ah. Hung. Hung. Means show the non-self-existence nature of all phenomena. Hong is seed syllable representing primordial awareness. Pet, destroy all defilements and interferences. Destroy all the defilements and obstacles. All right, so I won't talk about now. Vajrasattva, I think that's enough for now. I'm going to talk a little bit about Mahamudra now. So we go to this time, page, this book, Mahamudra book, page 150. Pamudrupa. Pamudrupa is great Mahamudra master of Kagipa tradition. And Domgon Pamudrupa. Pamudrupa means one who achieved the realization of Vajra Yogini, Dorje Pamo, Vajravarahi, Pamudrupa, one who achieved Vajra Yogini realization. He was great, one of the greatest master of the Kagipa tradition. And he was, I think, guru of the first Karmapa, Dusum Chemba, if I'm correct. And so Pamudrupa is a great master of Mahamudra. So here it is Pamudrupa's words. Pamudrupa was born in 1110 and passed away 1170. So, and Mahamudra is state of non-dual awareness. There are three aspects: essence, natural, and characteristics. So when we talk about Mahamudra, you have to understand first essence of Mahamudra. Tibetan word is Nyingbo, Nyingbo, and natural or not nature of Mahamudra. Then characteristics of Mahamudra. Okay, so I will explain. Essence is emptiness. So the essence of Mahamudra is emptiness. The essence of Mahamudra is shunyata. And essence is emptiness of arising, ceasing, and conceiving. Arising, ceasing, and conceiving. This is the nature of this is the essence of Mahamudra. Nature is unobstructed lucidity. What is the nature of Mahamudra? In unobstructed. Nobody can obstruct Mahamudra. And there is nothing can interfere Mahamudra, true Mahamudra. And lucidity is clear realization. And characteristic. What is the characteristic of Mahamudra? Characteristic is diverse appearance on the level of samsara and nirvana. So on the samsara, on the nirvana, different levels. Samsara level, nirvana level, different levels. And there's all kinds of diversity, all kinds of things happening in the samsaric level and nirvanic level. And so now I will explain more. I would like to give a brief commentary on Mahamudra's verses. Essence of Mahamudra is awareness of emptiness and shunyata. It is essence of no essence of inherently this or that. So the essence is without essence. It's like talking about emptiness of emptiness, essence of no essence. Even the essence does not exist inherently. You might think, oh, essence, Buddha essence, this essence, that maybe some permanent inherent existence truly exists. When you meditate on essence, the essence is also emptiness. One of the emptiness is called the emptiness of emptiness. For example, Nagarjuna taught 16 different kinds of emptiness. Nagarjuna taught 20 different kinds of emptiness, according to his book, text, Mula Madhyamika Karika. Uma Tsawa Shirak. And he talks, one emptiness is called emptiness of emptiness. What about emptiness? Is permanent? Emptiness of inherent existence? What is emptiness? Emptiness is emptiness. Emptiness doesn't exist itself. And the famous Tibetan Gelugpa Geshe, his name was Geshe Rabten. Geshe Rabten said, Shunyata is not holy one. Shunyata is not some kind of created by the Buddha. Shunyata is always shunyata. Buddha didn't make shunyata. And Buddhist view, philosophical view is shunyata. It is not Buddha made it like some kind of binoculars, and some kind of video camera Buddha made. No, Buddha didn't make. Japanese people make video cameras, Nikon, and Sony and this and that, video cameras and computers and so forth. And now Chinese makes all those, and and the video cameras. Okay, everything is made in China, and so Buddha didn't make shunyata. Shunyata exists long before Buddha was born in India, and Geshe Rabten, shunyata is not a holy one itself. But when you obtain the realization of shunyata, then you can become the holy one. You become Arya Bodhisattva. And so here, essence of no essence of inherently, this is or that, this or that. At the same time, the mind Mind's essence is continuously arising and continuously ceasing. This is never-ending pattern. So the mind, you look at your mind, is continuously arising, one after another, one after another. For example, you know very well when you're sitting there meditating on Mahamudra, resting your mind, you have a hard time resting your mind because one thought comes, another thought comes, keep coming, going all the time, like the rush hour traffic. One car after another car, until 6:30, 7 p.m. Then it slows down. And then midnight slows down. In the morning, 7 o'clock, 6, 7:30, again rush hour start. Your mind is like that, never ending, right? And never end. Mind is continuously arising, continuously ceasing. Okay, this is the essence of the mind. Nature of the mind, of the nature of Mahamudra is unobstructed, clear, lucid, still, and spacious nature. So the Mahamudra is clear and lucid and still and spacious. You sit there, Mahamudra, meditate on Mahamudra. You see your mind is still, clear, unobstructed, and spacious. We say in Tibet, Ösal Chajachim, Ösal Chajachim, clear light, Mahamudra. This is the nature of Mahamudra. Then, characteristic of Mahamudra are diverse appearance, dependent arising in emptiness, like water and ice. Samsara is like water and nirvana is like ice. So, water, without water, there's no ice, right? You can't have ice without water. And without ice, there's no water. You see, ice comes from North Pole. Ice, there's lots of ice in North Pole, South Pole. Ice melting, more water coming. Sea level rising now because ice melting from the North Pole, from Greenland, South Pole. The Greenland is huge, massive ice field, so thick. Some scientists or geologists saying there might be a big canyon in the middle of the Greenland, big canyon, like a Grand Canyon. I don't know. How do they see it? Maybe they just are imagining. Don't know. And maybe there's some kind of, they have a computer, some device, They never know. They can detect nowadays. Technology is amazing, right? So, ice, you have ice, then water, right? You have water, then ice. There's a Tibetan Ladakhi guy, you've probably seen it. He's making the ice stupa in Ladakh. So now ice melting, shortage of water in Ladakh, right? So this man built a huge ice stupa, and he used fountain and build ice so that the wintertime is so cold, right? And then springtime the ice start melting slowly, and then feed the farmlands, build irrigation canal, and he built a huge ice stupa, and using certain pumps, and he received award from some international organizations. And he's a Ladakhi Tibetan origin fellow. It's quite intelligent, right? So samsara and nirvana are like that. And without samsara, you have samsara, and then nirvana happens. Without samsara, there'll be no nirvana. Right? Okay, so we are running up time. We do a little bit meditation now on Mahamudra. So let's meditate on those topics here. Essence of Mahamudra. Essence of Mahamudra is emptiness, and so essence of Mahamudra is emptiness. Basically, it means that you sit comfortably, and you sit here comfortably, and then you observe your mind, to the essence of the mind. You observe your mind, essence of the mind. Look at the essence of your mind. What is the essence? Is there essence? Is essence is just word? What is essence? What is essence? Is there essence? So if you don't see really essence other than the word is essence, the label of essence that you imputed, if there's no other essence than label, that's the emptiness of essence. This is the essence of the Mahamudra. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, most welcome.
Thank you for those wonderful teachings, Rinpoche. Junior Coconut Kiwi asks, is my discriminating mind also empty?
Yes. Your discriminating mind is emptiness. Because you have to meditate on it, then you will see its emptiness. And when I say emptiness, doesn't mean you don't have. When you look at your discriminating mind, I'm not saying your discriminating mind suddenly disappears, or I'm not saying you don't have discriminating mind. I'm not saying it's some sort of illusion thing, right? But what I mean is, if you look at discriminating mind, then you realize the discriminating mind is your projection. You're projecting this discriminating mind, and whatever you're putting labels on it, whatever you're saying, it's good, bad, this and that, it's a projection, and your projections. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Colin Maddox asks, is Tsultrim similar to renunciation?
No, Tsultrim means morality. Morality is discipline. There's a question for Amanda?
No.
Okay.
She just makes comments.
Okay. Yes.
Rinpoche, you mentioned about renouncing worldly life in favor of spiritual life.
Yes.
Could you clarify the difference between the two? Is it possible that sometimes so-called spiritual life could be worldly, or that sometimes so-called worldly life could be spiritual?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because sometimes you don't know. You get sort of mixed up, right? Sometimes so-called spiritual life can be worldly life. That depends on your motivation, attitude, and it can be a selfish motivation, can be escaping, using the spiritual practice as an escape, and selfish reasons, or using the spiritual practice as a power trip, or use the spiritual practice for ego, then it becomes worldly. It's not spiritual, right? It's worldly. And then sometimes you have a worldly life, a worldly activities. You live in the world, in society, like an ordinary man or woman, and doing things for helping people and for genuinely from your heart, sharing things, sharing food, sharing a drink, just doing whatever, shoveling snow and shoveling dirt and washing pots, doing some karma yoga, and live in a society with people. And it looks just very ordinary person, right? And nothing really kind of significant, or no, I mean, nothing sort of dramatic, nothing kind of exotic, spiritual, and there's no spiritual labels. You're not doing any kind of rituals. You can be very spiritual thing, right? Because your intention is good, your heart is good. You're helping someone spiritual. It looks like worldly life, but it's spiritual. So it's hard to know sometimes what is spiritual, what is not. I make distinctions. Like you can practice religion, not necessarily spiritual. Okay, you can practice spiritual traditions, real spiritual, but not religious. So you could be a spiritual person, but not religious. You could be a religious person, not necessarily a spiritual person, unfortunately. And you can be also both. You could be a spiritual person, a religious person, both. You could be neither. That's a good question.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Junior Coconut Kiwi asks, is there a short Vajrasattva mantra?
Yes, there's a Om Vajrasattva Hum. Om Vajrasattva Hum. That's a short one.
Tom asks, if Mahamudra starts with simply observing the mind without judgments, how should we relate this to purifying the mind of faults with Vajrasattva?
How should we relate this to purifying the mind of faults with Vajrasattva? Well, we start Mahamudra meditation. We should start Mahamudra meditation. Simply observing the mind, resting the mind, and without judging, or without saying good or bad, this and that. This is how we do. We're trying to do, right? We do. But then we're not always successful. And even while you're meditating, some obstacles coming, and some judgments comes in, something slipping or creeping in part of your mind, and then something coming, judgment coming. Some negative mind could be suddenly suddenly you plopped. He's sitting here straight, meditating on Mahamudra, simply cultivate awareness, observing the mind. And suddenly something flopped, and then oops, what happened? And then suddenly some negativity comes. That point, then you need to do Vajrasattva practice. Okay, and but see, usually what we do. This is why we do Vajrasattva practice as a foundation, preliminary practice. Before you do Mahamudra practice, you do Guru Yoga, you do refuge. You practice Guru Yoga, refuge, mandala offering, prostration, and Vajrasattva practice to prevent judgment mind, negative mind comes in during the Mahamudra meditation. So if you do all the preliminary practice, then there's a less chance having these kinds of interferences, negative mind or judgment mind, slips into the meditation, interfering your Mahamudra meditation. It does not mean, you practice all these things together.
Right, good, thank you. Amanda asks, in the word in English, emptiness, can be a bit difficult for us when studying Mahamudra. Emptiness can mean nothingness and can be negative. In Tibetan, does shunyata have these same negative meanings?
Shunyata is not Tibetan word. Shunyata is actually it's a Sanskrit word. Shunyata. Tibetan word is Tongpa Nyi. Okay, Tongpa Nyi. So actually, Tongpa Nyi means emptiness. Okay. See, you're using word emptiness. So emptiness actually means something is there, not just empty, not totally nothing. Ness. What is ness? Okay. There's a Zen master called Ido Roshi. Okay, Ido Shimano Roshi. Ido Shimano Roshi says, his translation of emptiness, he says, as it is-ness, as it is-ness. Shunyata, emptiness, is as it is-ness, not nothingness. As it is-ness, not nothingness. Remember this one. So shunyata means as it is. And so the problem in the Western mind, thinking emptiness means nothingness, right? Emptiness is not nothingness. It's not nothingness. Emptiness is as it isness, as it is. This is why Lama Tsongkhapa taught dependent arising emptiness too. Dependent arising and emptiness is like your hand. Front side of the hand, inside of the hand, back side of the hand, same hand, right? The front inside hand, you got all the lines. You can do the palm reading. You can read my palm like this, right? If you're a palm reader, you can read. And backside, there's nothing there. You can't read backside. You see the thick skin, and you got the blood vein, the vessel, vein, whatever. There's some wrinkles on my knuckles. And yeah. So the same hand. So dependent arising, emptiness are the same thing. Whatever is arising, dependent arising is emptiness. Whatever is emptiness, dependent arising. These go together like two sides of the door. One side is exit, the other side is entrance. Two sides of the coin. Okay. So emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. So this is Western problem, the language problem. Okay, Western language, English language problem. English language doesn't always have good language sometimes very confusing, and sometimes English words are a bit kind of I don't understand. And like even spellings, like knife, why you have the K letter there? Knife. Why not just N without K? Why you need a K? Knife. And who made this? Who created this? Anyway, we got something similar like that in Tibetan language too sometimes. I'm not criticizing English language. I love English language. And more and more I study English, translating books. I like the English language. And there's so many words. In English, actually, there's lots of vocabulary, more words for ordinary language than Tibetan. The spiritual language, Tibetan, got so many English, so little. And so emptiness is not nothingness. But it's not really a problem, because if you are beginner, a Westerner, beginner of Dharma student, then you have this confusion about emptiness means nothingness, right? That's because you're a beginner. But if you study Dharma again and again, many times, then you know emptiness doesn't mean nothing. Then you say, I love emptiness. Right?
Thank you. Chris asks, is the true nature of mind, or an element of the true nature of mind, just pure unobstructed perception?
Well, there's several words here, element and perception. And so the true nature of the mind, or element of the nature of the mind, element is a different thing. There's a mental element is a different thing. You should not mix with the elements. And then it get more complicated. If you also put the word perception, it get more complicated. Because perception is part of the mind, activity of the mind, the way the mind is perceiving things, right? Where the mind is perceiving. And then element is a part of the mind. There's so many elements. Like you see, like usually we have 5 elements, right? Earth, water, fire, wind, consciousness elements, right? So, and in Pramana, Tibetan Buddhist, Indian Buddhist philosophy, we have 6 primary mind, 20 secondary minds, and then what do you call? You have different kinds of delusions, and we have 8 consciousness, so on, so on, so on. Elements, mental elements. So that's a different thing. So you should not use the word element here when we're talking about Mahamudra. And perception is fairly okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Alex asks, what are the signs of successful purification with the Vajrasattva practice?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you very much. So I can go to the list of things for you. Sign of purification. So there's different kinds of signs appears in your mind. Okay, one good sign is after Vajrasattva practice, your mind is peaceful, happy, light. I'm not talking about bright light, but more light, and less stress, less tension, less rigidness, and more relaxed, more peaceful, more flexible, and happy. And this is good sign of realization of Vajrasattva practice. Good sign. Okay, and you sort of feel like I'm good, I'm fine, doesn't matter. Worldly stuff doesn't bother me. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm fine at this moment. I'm not worried about future. I live in the present moment. This kind of feeling, thought comes. That's good sign of purification. And this is inner sign. Also, after Vajrasattva practice, you feel more energy to do more Vajrasattva practice. You feel like you want to do 100,000 mantra Vajrasattva as soon as possible. And tonight I want to do 5,000 mantras. Tomorrow I'm going to do 10,000 mantras. You got so much energy, right? That's good sign. And one of my students, I told her, you should do 100,000 mantras. She said, I already did. And then she said, if you want me to do another 100,000, I'll do it. I said, okay, that's enough. And, and then I said, you do prostration or something else, Guru Yoga. She's very, very committed. So those are inner signs. Okay. Then there are other signs like usually we check dreams. In your dream, if you have a dream that you're flying in the air, that's a good sign. If you go see Guru, receiving teachings from Guru or initiation, that's a good sign. You're going up the mountains, hiking, keep hiking, going, good sign. And if you're blowing conch shells, blowing instruments, good sign. If you're wearing beautiful dresses, ornaments, white silk dresses, blues, whatever colorful, that's good sign. And if you are discharging something from your body, fluid, stuff like that, coming out from the bottom, coming out from the mouth, like you're vomiting, these are good sign of purification. And if you see rainbow, and a good sign. If you see certain totem animals, for example, wolves and ravens and bears and deer and those kinds of animals coming around, that could be a sign of purification. Those animals are beautiful animals, right? They represent certain things, like we call totem animal, right? So these are the signs of, and of course, if you had a dream that you see Vajrasattva in your dream, Vajrasattva right there in front of you, giving you initiations or giving light coming from Vajrasattva, this is also a good sign.
Very good sign. Thank you. Colin asks, Rinpoche, are the 5 Buddha wisdoms the enlightened state of the 5 skandhas.
Correct.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you next Tuesday, or see you next Saturday if you're coming to teachings on Tara. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rinpoche.
Thank you. Good.
Wonderful. These are
Yes.
amazing teachings.
Oops. People's faces.
Where did you go? You're in photos? Yeah, you're in photos. Okay.
Yeah, good. We're doing
Yeah, you can go. Yeah,
And?
and yes, good.